Hello everybody and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hot Fix. This is How to Train a Speedrunner, a game dedicated to bringing you beginner-friendly tutorials about speedrunning. Before we get into all of that, just a few quick reminders. AGDQ 2023 Online is coming up. That's this weekend, January 8th to 15th. You can go to Games Done Quick on more information. Tune in starting at 11:30 Eastern on Sunday to catch a week of speedruns benefiting Prevent Cancer Foundation. With all that said, I will kick it over to our runner and our commentary for tonight.
All right. Thank you very much, Church. And welcome to the Blob, everybody. This is a 2008 Wii game ported to the PC in 2017. It is a puzzle sandbox platformer. I am Ogden. I'm from Australia. And with me in the booth today, I have Lucid. Lucid, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. My name's Lucid. I live in Japan, and I think we've both been running this game for upwards of 7 years now.
7 years. It has been quite a little while been playing this game, but there is a lot to offer in terms of teaching newbies how to play the game.
Absolutely. There's a ton of tech and interesting stuff to go over today.
Indeed. So I'll start by talking about the different versions of the game. So this has had a few re-releases over the years. Obviously, released initially on the Wii in 2008. It is the slowest version of the game, the Wii obviously known for its slow loads compared to the newer generations of the consoles. It's released on PS4 and Xbox and Switch a couple of years ago, 2017 I believe it was. So they had some faster loads, and generally just the movement and the gameplay is roughly the same. But then I am playing today on PC with a Switch Pro controller. This is the fastest version of the game because the PC loads, saves about a minute and a half in 80%, and it saves a lot more in 100% as well. But we'll be teaching some strats for 80% today, so we might as well get right in to the movement. We'll head into the first level here, Last Resort. Alright, so we'll start with the controls. So essentially, you are a blob. This is the game. It's very exciting, and the premise of the game is that you are a revolutionary. The evil Inked Corporation has taken all the color from the city, and you need to restore the world with the color energy. So you need to get to the exit pool before the time expires. Essentially, there is 10 levels, all with points that you need to get. And you need to get to the exit pool in each of them to progress to the next. So obviously it looks very, very drab and gray right now. This little area is completely sucked of all life. The trees are all gray and dead, but as you can see, as we paint them, they grow back into different things, and they get colorful. So the aim of the game is essentially to paint as much as we can while getting the points required to exit the level. In most levels, this includes painting buildings. So you can see we paint this block here, and we finish the block, and we get a few more things over here. So we're getting a full block, and we've sort of just painted this whole area. As you can see in the top right, we have a points counter as well, 2,700. For this level, it is 75,000 that is required to end the level. But if you are not really interested in coloring, there are these things. These are called transform engines, and they essentially do the work for you. And they give you the points as well. Seeing at the top right, that was about 3,000 points that I achieved there. So these are quite fast in the speedrun to get the transform engines. But the problem is that they are a 10-minute cutscene. A 10-second cutscene, sorry, not 10 minutes. That'd be quite a long cutscene.
Much worse.
Yeah. But yeah, 10 seconds, it doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world. When the category is an hour long, it definitely adds up when you are getting these 10-second cutscenes once in a while. So we did have a sort of revolution back last year where we were trying to cut out as many transform engines as we possibly could. So also these things up here are styles. They don't actually do anything apart from change the look of your painting.
Yeah, they're entirely cosmetic.
Yeah. Alright, so that's the first section done. We'll talk about the challenges here coming up. So this is this little blue spiral thing. This is Zip. And there are 4 different types of challenges. There is the blue challenges, which involve movement. The green challenges, which involve painting different colors. The brown challenge, which you saw back at the start, that involves landmarks and sort of like transforming bigger structures. And the orange challenges are killing enemies. So we'll start here with this first green challenge. This is Artie. And we want to paint these buildings red to free the Gradients trapped inside. The Gradients are the residents of the city who have been trapped by the mindless corporation. As you can see, it looks very grey and drab. So we finish the challenge. And the Gradients are here. We free them and we get a bunch of points. So they are now free from their mindless contraptions to go run around. We can squash them because we are a huge blob and they are tiny for some reason. But,
Blob is canonically, just for the record, Blob is canonically, I think, 8 feet tall.
8 feet tall, quite
large.
Big guy. So this challenge here, the same thing, painting the block orange. And done pretty simply there. But as you'll see, in the run, we will sort of continue to do these challenges, but since we know how the game works, we will kind of just do the challenge first, and then collect the points afterwards. It saves a cutscene of Blob dancing and the like, so it is very fast to do that. So the first gate here is unlocked. This was 20,000 points, and I have 22,000, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock it. This is a cutscene, obviously, as you can guess, would be skippable eventually. But here we're going to talk about the most important collection of points for the entire game, and that is wall combos. So we're going to start over here. Obviously, there's a very long alley down this way, whereas this section is all grey so far. Obviously, there's challenges here that we can do. One there. There's one over here as well on top of that building. One over there as well, and a brown one to do that transform, that landmark. But we are not going to do any of that because wall jumping and wall combos in this game is extremely overpowered. So I'm going to start a wall combo here where essentially what I'm doing is gaining points and combinations of points. As you can see, I'm getting a multiplier for each building that I paint. And it's because I'm not touching the ground. Essentially is why I did this. And the longer you stay up the ground, the longer you don't reset that multiplier. And as you can see there, I just got 25,000 points in a matter of 10 seconds. Pretty fast, as you can see. And this transform engine is now unlocked. Again, more free points. And we are moving on to the very last section of this area. So I think I'll try and showcase the gate skip here. This is one of the hardest strats in the runs. So obviously, if I were to open this gate again, it would be quite slow. Obviously the cutscene, and there's a cutscene on the side as well. Panning in, you gotta skip it and stuff. What you can do with a tight wall jump off this landmark, it is not the easiest thing in the world, but if you're looking to improve this game quite quickly. Ooh, that was close. Nearly. It's definitely one of the harder gate skips in the whole run.
Yeah, for the record, we barely... Yeah, there we go. For the record, we barely do this gate skip in any percent because it saves such a minuscule amount of time. In fact, it's often debated whether or not it's even faster.
I think it is faster if you get it first try, but obviously very difficult. So there I just skipped the gate opening animation and the cutscene as well. You can see if I jump back in here, it'll trigger the cutscene just here. this pan cutscene which you skip. It adds up, it's time. But the rest of this level obviously will just be getting points, wall combos, because that is the fastest method of getting points in this game. And we'll see how I go here the rest of this level. And that wasn't bad at all. Just gonna unlock this gate now. That was another 20,000 points just there in about 20 seconds. Obviously, you'll see once we do the full run, it will be quite obvious that that is very important. And that is the first level of the run, Last Resort. 623, not what you want to see.
Yeah, not great.
But you know,
the world record for this the world record for this in-game time is 1 minute and 34 seconds.
4 seconds. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'll run it again. We'll do the speedrunning strats this time, and you'll see all of it together. So you can see that we skipped this entire first section here, as transform included. This cutscene is unskippable. And we're going to completely skip the arty challenge that we did earlier as well. And we are just going to do wall combos. And that wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but definitely
yeah,
will
it's
do.
recoverable. Yeah.
Oh, that was not great. Wanted to get that. So you can see there that I started with the block red, and then I changed to orange halfway through. I don't have enough points. Wow. So what that is called a building combo. So essentially, if I paint a block of buildings with more than one color, then it gives us a point multiplier. So essentially, the more colors that we paint a building with, the more points we get. And then, as you see at the end there, I painted all of them orange at the end to fulfill the challenge. And I talked to Artie before actually starting the challenge to get the points in one try.
Doing things in that order skips the cutscene that would normally play if you had to talk to her after the fact to start the challenge.
Yeah. Some more wall combos here. Wow, that was a very big wall jump. Just some backup strats here, finishing those two blocks there with two colors. And I believe the amount of points that a block gives you, it's the amount of buildings in the block times 100 times the amount of colors that you use. So if a block has 6 buildings, then it would give you 12 or 2400 for the 4 colors. And as you can see, it's sort of important that we paint as many blocks with as many colors as we can.
You got the one frame thing. Should we go over that briefly?
Oh, yeah, okay. So the one frame thing. This is a very high level strategy used where we essentially keep our combo by jumping on the first frame that we touch the ground. It is unintentional, obviously, but we did do it because it is obviously faster to keep the combination. We save plenty of points with that. A 155, definitely a sub 2 is not bad. Definitely improvable. I got a 143 in practice earlier today.
Yeah.
But it's definitely one of the more optimized levels in terms of strategies, and considering it's basically most of it is RNG, considering the wall combos, because you can get a little bit screwed over with the wall jump mechanics in the game. It's really hard to sort of optimize, but we have done it. A bunch of hours put into it from Lucid here. He's got the world record for the RTA Last Resort currently.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll move on to Uptown at this point. I won't go over the routes for every levels because that will take forever. But I will go over the main sort of idea of this level and introduce some more of the mechanics, and then we will go through the major skips of the run as well. Essentially what you need to know in order to get a good time. Yeah, I believe it is frame perfect suck. So here's the zip that I was talking about earlier, the blue guy that's marker flares on the ground. We're going to ignore it for the time being. And essentially what we're doing on here is we are setting up a challenge for later. Painting the billboard for more points. Billboards are 500 points instead of the usual 100. And we're going to try and do this. I'm going to get this actually. So getting time there adds to my challenge timer as well, as you saw. And what I'm doing here is I'm setting up for some more things as well. Finish this block here with 3 colors, and then I'm going to go over that with yellow. So do you want to explain repaints, Lucid?
Absolutely. So whenever you paint a block of buildings and then a certain color, and then you go back over it with a different color, you get a points multiplier. This also, it sometimes allows you to paint the building multiple times with different colors. Sometimes it only allows for 1 repaint per building. It depends, or per block, but it depends on the block of buildings for some reason. We haven't really figured out why that is, but that is how the repaint system works. Later on in the run, when we get to more complex combinations of challenges, you'll see us repaint the same building several different times in order to get a stupid amount of points way faster than we are intended to.
The biggest culprit of that is the final section in the Chroma Dam. That is...
Oh, absolutely.
Nearly 20,000 points in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
It is quite insane what you can do when you have the right colors available to you. So here, we just did a bunch of challenges in the first area. Challenges, usually the fastest way to get points in most levels. But here, I'm doing another challenge, obviously. We've got to paint these 2 blocks green. We obviously know that this is the challenge because we played the game before. And then we talk to Artie after we're done. And we get the points first try. So unfortunately, I couldn't keep the grading combo because as you can see, the gradients are similar to buildings in that they get comboed. You see the 50 times 1, 50 times 2, etc. But here is a lot of important repaints that we're going to do. So we've got these 3 finished blocks here, this big green block, this small green block, and this big red block here. So as you can see, when I touch it with the red paint, I get 1,800 points there in the top right. This one, 700. And then I'm going to paint this one orange, 2,400. So I can do even more here, 700 there, 1,800 there again. And you can just see it as the points are racking up big time at this point. 1,800 again, and then the last one, 700 there. And we're going to start here with the first gate skip of the run, or first proper one that I consistently do in attempts. And it's essentially just going around the outside. That's really all it is to it. Very simple, very easy trick you can pick up when you learn the game. Definitely one that's important to learn. And you'll see many more of those to come. Here is a big wall combo here. It's been in the route for a very long time, probably years at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
And just, yeah, finishing up this level with a lot more wall combos and blocks, challenges. That's the main sort of idea of the speedrun. This one we can't actually talk to Artie twice, we have to talk to her once to get the challenge, because we end quite far away and it would be slow to come all the way back here in the first place. So we're getting a wall combo there, obviously. That was quite good, honestly. And as you can see, I have 125,000 points now. I need 140 to finish level. Grabbing some different colors here. I'm going to wall combo my way to the very end of the level. Now you might notice that we are skipping a lot of the final landmarks. If you played this game before, that you'll know that there are some big sort of landmarks at the very end of the level. This is one of them right here. This takes 30 paint points of red, yellow, and blue, but obviously we don't end up doing it because obviously wall combos are just a much faster way of getting points. But you will see us have to do some froth missions, which is the brown little spiral out of the ground eventually. The first of those will be in downtown. So, anything else we need to talk about before we get into the skips?
I do not believe so. Prof missions are the most important thing that we have to talk about.
Yeah. I reckon we just do downtown, and we'll go through the rest of the skips.
Absolutely.
Alright, so downtown, the third level of the run. Talking to Prof here. And this level will start with quite an unusual challenge. Usually you want to talk to Zip here if you're playing casually. That is not the case. So we're starting here with the Artie mission up here. And she wants us to paint the 3 billboards. We'll do that. But we're also going to get a very nice wall combo while we do that. Painting all these. Oof. That was not what we want to see.
Typically, when you do this, you want to hit the edge of the billboard in order to maintain your combo. You can see Oakenham did it at the very beginning there. He lost it on the third one. I'm assuming he's running it back so he can make sure he gets that wall combo. Yeah. It's a weird quirk with how the billboards work that it doesn't allow you to maintain your combo if you go on the flat side, but if you go on the sides, then for some reason it doesn't count it as dropping your combo. So you can see right there, he goes on the edge of the billboard rather than the front of it. And he does not lose his wall combo.
Much better.
Absolutely.
And we've skipped essentially one of the longest challenges in the game there. That Zip mission takes you all the way down the alley. A few more points there with the billboard and getting a few more wall combos here. Ignoring those heavy inkies completely because they just drain us of our paint points. Paint points are the thing in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see I have 37 paint points right now. And here we are setting up for a bunch of other blocks to finish in this section later. There are 2 challenges here which we'll finish. Painting that building there is very important on the hot plates. And they will actually sting you if you walk on them. Not going to talk to Artie just yet. We're going to finish her challenge, which is to paint the 3 billboards in this area. Finishing the block with 2 colors, green and brown. Getting the points for free. And again, more points for free. I probably should explain the enemies there. Those are the first ones in the game, I guess. So those are the only real enemies to deal with in the game. Well, the most basic version of them. They're called Inkies. You saw back there are heavy Inkies. They take 10 paint points. The regular ones take 1. There are other ones later in the next level, which are called Tanks. They take 100 paint points, and there are other ones in future levels that take 20 and 50, and as we get to the very end, there are a lot of things we need to do, but we essentially just ignore them all because we just want points and to get out of level.
Yeah, the enemies are not typically a very good source of points. Sometimes they can come in clutch at the very end of a level if you're low, but for the most part, you want to ignore the enemies in the levels.
Want to explain what we're doing here, Lucid?
Here we are going in getting a 7 color, which is the maximum amount of colors you can paint a building with. So he's gone from, I believe, brown to blue to Oh gosh, I always forget the 7 color.
Brown to blue, to purple, to red, to orange.
Orange, yellow, and then blue, orange, yellow, green, and then blue, and then purple, or blue and then purple and then red. But yeah, that gives him the maximum amount of points that he needs in order to get out of here, which is huge because if he doesn't do this 7 color, he's very low on points later on.
Yeah, very important to do this this 7 color now. And we talked about the mission here before, so we're going to finish it now. Jumping over here to paint these 2 billboards. But in the process as well, we are painting this block with 2 colors. As you can see, there are nearly 100,000 points in that one section. Very, very important to the other part of this level. Obviously, the levels get longer as we go on.
He's very high on points as well going into this segment, because optimally you want to have at least 130,000, and he had almost 140, so he's doing well.
The gate is there. We're not going to get it just yet, though. We're going to go back and clean up the rest of these gradients here, because they are pretty much just free points sitting there and waiting to be collected. And we are comboing these in a very, very big combo. Finishing this mission, Artie wanted us to paint that big round block red. We did. And then to finish this section, we're going to repaint the multiple blocks here with a blue and purple. And through the gate. Coming up here is one of the minor skips in the run. It's called Slum Skip. This was very recently routed into the run after we found that going all the way around this fence here, you can see in front of us, it's slow. It is very slow and it's not what you wanted to be doing. 16.9 million colors on the color spectrum, but only 7 in this game.
It's very unfortunate.
Shows you how limited the Wii was back in 2008. Can only show 7 colors. So finished a mission there from Artie to paint these 2 big blocks blue. Collecting the gradients, a repaint for 1300 just there. And we are going to skip the entire fence section just here with a wall jump and a lock-on. It is really that easy. That is the easiest skip in the game. You can do that for free. And that there is the first Brock mission of the run. So essentially it gets rid of all the ink. And the ink was the toxic sort of goo of this game of Mario Sunshine. Toxic goo in Mario Sunshine is to the ink in this level. And if you touch it, you get inked. Blob goes all black, and you need to find water soon, otherwise you will die. So the pump getting rid of all that ink there is actually required to finish this level. Or it isn't required, but it's very, very hard to route out, considering the amount of points that we get from that final section. And we did a zip mission there to finish off. And wall combos, and we are done.
Not a bad time.
Considering I sat there looking at the 7 color for a little while, that wasn't too bad either.
Yeah.
Alright, so Chroma Dam is the 4th level of 10. And we are going to start demonstrating some of the skips, the more important skips. We don't have time to go through all the routes, so we'll show... Actually, I'm going to go in the free paint for this.
Oh, Chroma Dam has one of the most recent skips that's been rooted in, if I remember right. Aside from Slum Skip. The first gate skip is one of the, I think, one of the second most recent skip that we've rooted into the run.
It is indeed quite new. So I'm going to start here by just going down. Gate skips are probably one of the most important parts of learning this run. They save a lot of time, RTA, and generally are definitely something that you want to pick up at an early level. Otherwise, you'll be sort of struggling to push into that sub 110 area later on. So here is the gate skip we were talking about. The gate is just right there. Obviously, it's open now because we are in free paint mode where we can do whatever we want. But this is the only tree in the entire game that you can jump on. And that's very, very interesting indeed. So as we move up onto this landmark here, which we are definitely not supposed to be on, you can see that there's a ledge over there. Can we get to it? Yes, we can. So now we are behind the gate and we have skipped the gate completely. Definitely a gate skip that is not entirely difficult and something that you want to learn. So just jump
I didn't even know about the tree, and I feel really stupid for not knowing about that.
You learn something every day.
Yeah.
Definitely do. And as we go up here, I'll show you once again. You want to walk up this little. You can see the hitbox of the thing here. It is a little bit protruding there. You want to wall jump off the ear and be holding right to upright to get that skip, and then wall jump all the way over here. And that is essentially what you've done to skip this big ink section completely. And the second and most pivotal gate skip, the second gate skip included in the route ever. It is the second gate skip of Chroma Dam. So you'll see that the second gate, it is all the way over here. So yeah, just here is the second gate. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go... Get up here real quick. You're supposed to go through that gate, on those buildings up there into the wind cannon, and shoot all the way across to this island over here. We don't want to do that, but it's slow. So once again, what we're going to do... How am I up here? Wow, okay. Well,
yeah,
I don't usually go up here.
It's even more broken than you thought.
But yeah, as you can see, there is a little bit of a invisible wall pushing me off. Wow, okay, I fell down.
The invisible walls in this game are incredibly janky. They don't work how you would expect them to.
They try and keep you from skipping over sections where possible, but most of the time they are sort of negligible. We will be skipping this second gate here by seeing that one building just there. We can wall jump straight under it from here. One of the easiest skips in the game. This involves some tight wall jumping. If you know what you're doing with wall jumps, then it is completely easy to do, and we have completely skipped the second gate. And the final thing you want to learn here in this first section is pump skip. So these little pumps here, they're going to try and push you off the platform as you move your way across to the Z jump over there. What we can do though is jump on them. And that is essentially a 20-second time save for free. It is definitely not the easiest thing in the world. You got to jump on the part where you actually can. It's this little section here. So you jump too close to the middle and you'll just fall down. Make sure you are jumping close to the roof, the little top edge of the pump as you can, and you'll be able to get up. Other than that, that's about all there is to Chroma Dam. There is the big dam over here, which you can get to with the Z jumps, and climbing is not the worst thing in the world. Alright, moving on to Gug and Traz.
Oh, here we go.
5th level, and the one which is the second most broken, really. There are 2 gates in this level, both of which can be skipped. And you will see what we do to skip the monorail at the very end. There's the long auto-scroller section, which until recently was really just 30 seconds of us sitting on a train waiting to be taken to the end of the level. But you'll see here we're doing the first gate skip, that one is just there. And we're going to go around here.
Optimally, you would optimally you would like to have your color for this portion, but
yeah.
you only lose, I think, a second if you get wet here.
Something like that, yeah. So we'll try this again here. Oh, unfortunate. But the hardest part of this trick here is the rock. Getting over this wall, it's too high for Blob to jump over. There is a transform there, but that is not there at 100%. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this little outstretched ledge of the rock to get over the gate. And that is so much harder than it looks. It is absolutely insane. Lucid is crazy consistent at it. And I don't understand how. I've always just been really, really inconsistent at that one. But does save roughly 15 seconds RTA because you're skipping the gate all the way back there, and you're going this way around the rock. And
as well as a cutscene, walking up to the monument.
Indeed, going all the way around there is certainly quite slow. It definitely adds up. Definitely a difficult. Actually, I'll show a easier version of that skip because it is definitely not an easy skip to do first off. So I'm going to show what we used to do in this section. I've done it in a while, so it might be a little bit tricky. But what we do, there is a little section of this landmark we can stand on. It is just here. You can see the hitbox of the landmark there, just like protruding a little bit. But if you brake on this section, which is the right trigger or the B button on the Wiimote, you can sort of just sit here for as long as you want. And what we can do with this is, oh, it's not there. Well, usually there'd be a
oh yeah, usually there's a hazard switch that you're able to lock onto, but it's not there because it's in free paint.
I'm gonna try and do that in the story mode real quick. And you'll see the rest of this route a little bit later on when we do the full run. This is a mission that is unskippable. You cannot skip it at all. Clueless. And you'll see us skip that later on. Alright. So this first gate skip here, yeah, obviously there are the spikes and there's the hazard. Oh my gosh!
That was an insane wall jump.
Lucid, you want to explain what that was?
Oh, okay. So, this is something I've coined a lock-on jump. It's something that will happen to you if you play this game casually. But essentially, there are certain objects that the lock-on system doesn't recognize as objects being in between you and the blob. Normally, if there's like a building, it obviously won't lock on to something behind the building because then the game would break and you'd go through it. But for things like trees, it doesn't recognize those as objects. So you can jump, and when you interact with the object, that like the tree, for instance, all of your forward momentum gets converted to vertical momentum, resulting in a lock-on jump. There are consistent ways to do this, but it's very, very precise, and it's unfortunately relatively niche. So we don't use it we don't use it at all in any sort of any percent strategy.
And I think most of it just comes down to like you said, the preciseness of each of the lock-ons. There is some consistent setups you claim to have found in the Dam level before this, but I've never been able to get them consistent. They are extremely.
They were also rooted out by the gate skip that we mentioned earlier, which is a good thing, because if we had to do that lock-on jump every time, it would be a nightmare. There are enough precise skips in this run already.
That is very true. Alright, I'm going to explain the rainbow tank here now. So this little thing here this. It's a rainbow tank. Basically, you slam it, you get 100 points for 40 seconds, 40 in-game seconds, I should say. And you can do absolutely whatever you want with it. You can paint multiple colors, get wall jumps, you can slam enemies, you can complete challenges. And I'm going to show you the second gate skip that we do with this. So essentially the route comes over here eventually. You talk to this ID mission, and she wants you to paint this monorail up here blue. And since we are the rainbow tank, we are yellow right now, but it painted blue. Doesn't make any sense. That is how the rainbow tank works. You can just paint everything you want blue. And just there, we just jumped over the gate. I'm gonna go back and do that again because it is quite interesting how that works. So let me just head on back to that section over there.
Can I explain why this gate skip happens?
Yeah, sure.
So the reason why this particular gate skip happens, and why a few other gate skips in this game happen, is because the invisible wall has to have holes in it for certain game mechanics. In this level, there's a monorail system that if you were playing the game casually, you would unlock as you go through the level, and that would allow you to, and that allows you to do a final mission at the end where you ride the monorail and paint all of the monorail stations in one go. However, for this particular, because that has to be allowed, there's a hole where the monorail track is that you can just jump through if you're high enough, which is why you were able to just jump through the invisible wall right here.
You can see if I try to jump over the gate normally, let me kill these guys. If I try to jump over it normally, then it just doesn't let me. Actually, I'll try and do it from a different angle while I'm not aiming for that hole. So if I just try and jump normally over this, it doesn't let me. There's an invisible wall there. It's just not going to allow you to jump all the way over that little section. But if we aim for that little hole where the monorail is, just above over it, by going like this to set up, and we go through every single time. It is fairly consistent. I found it by accident actually, while trying to just lock onto the thing, the gates, transform little unlock, gate unlock. So by accident, another rainbow tank here, and I'm going to demonstrate the final skip of this level, and it is called monorail skip. Usually you want to unlock this monorail and take it all the way over to the island over there, where the exit pool is located. That involves doing both this mission and another mission that appears down there, and that's very, very slow, unlocking it, and not to mention how slow it is actually taking the monorail. It's very slow, it moves quite slowly.
Takes 30 seconds.
So what we're going to do is a wall jump. And that is much harder than it looks. Much harder than it looks. That is a very, very precise wall jump, and a lock onto the gradient. I've been basically just spamming A with the trigger held down to lock onto the gradient. If these guys weren't here, this level would be so much different.
Absolutely.
That monorail skip. Definitely one of the hardest skips in the game, if not the hardest, I'd say.
I would, it's either that one or the one at the very end of the run. That skip is often a run killer for beginners and intermediate players because of how difficult it is to consistently get it. I still mess it up whenever I run this level because it is so precise.
And the saddest thing is there is really no alternative to it apart from doing these two missions. They're not entirely slow, but it will be 30-40 seconds to doing those two missions and taking the monorail. But this is definitely worth learning if you want to push down to the sub 105 range at some point in your learning career. You can see it is consistent after a while, but I've been practicing this for years at this point, and I've got it down to pretty much 100% of the time. One more time for the fans, and then we'll move on. And it's that easy. All right, so that is Guggenchaz. As obviously, this is the exit pool here. We can't actually unlock it yet because we're in a level. But the next level is Docklands, and I will show you very much now why Docklands is the worst level in the game, because it is long.
Absolutely obnoxious. Hate this level.
It is extremely long, extremely slow, and it is just ships. It's the Docklands, you are painting ships. That is the entire route of this level, and it's not very fun. But what we did discover a couple of years ago was a skip to get to the exit pool fast. And what that involves, as all skips do, is a wall jump, because it seems to be a common theme at this point. This wall jumping to the end. So we've taken the Z jump that we got from this second ship here, and we're up here. You can see the exit pool right there. But obviously, if this was an actual run, it wouldn't be unlocked, so you can't actually lock onto that. That's not going to stop us, because we are going to get over there no matter what. This is quite tight. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it first try. We'll see. No, that was not a great wall jump there. Unfortunate. It is very tricky to get this all the way to the end. But since this level is so big, it skips 3 gates. There are 4 gates in this level, and it skips 3 of them. So very, very insane. There we go.
Yep, that's it.
Nice. So we are at the end of the level now. The problem is this level requires 230,000 points, and you get maybe 100 up to this point, 120. What we have to do is we have to go back across here, across this other gate, all the way back to this rainbow tank over here. And we slam it, use the invisible wall to push us over here. And we slam this, open this gate, and we get the rest of the points in this section, which you will see later on. So yeah, that skip doesn't save a whole lot of time, but it's definitely just a proof of concept that you can actually get over there. It's definitely really important. The alternative to doing that is just walking around. I'll demonstrate that now, actually. Where you go all the way around the final section.
This is also a run killer if you miss it because of how long it takes to recover from missing it.
So this gate will be unlocked usually. You would go over here and essentially straight up to here. You cancel that Z jump halfway through to land on the bridge. That is quite a tight strategy. It was coined by Timber. A very long time ago, Timber was the one who was the most consistent at that. Definitely not easy to do. Quite tight timing. If you miss it, you fall all the way down here. You gotta take a while to get back up by this way and this way and this way, and so definitely challenging. That is the alternative if you don't want to do the gate skip. And then finishing the level is just paints and wall combos and the like. Alright, finishing up here, we'll do Hanging Gardens.
This is the second worst level in the run, arguably.
Second worst, indeed. This is a very tough level to do fast. As seen just there, that's the free frame strategy that I just screwed up. Unfortunate. We'll move into the other section really quickly to show the first gate skip.
The first gate skip isn't all that bad, relatively to like the last 2 skips and the skip later in this level. It's not that bad.
Ugh.
Can I briefly go over what being inked means?
Mm-hmm.
So, being inked in this game happens when you are hit by an enemy or when you fall into a pool of ink. And whenever that happens, your jump height is halved, your movement speed is halved, and you immediately start losing paint points, which double as both your ammunition and your health. So, very bad if that happens in any context in a run, but especially in this level because the ink is everywhere, and the only way to get uninked is by finding water, which is in short supply in this particular level.
So I won't go over the first gate skip just now because the lock-on to get over there is not there yet. But this is one of the most intensely studied sections of the entire game, the second section of Hanging Gardens. There are 3 ways to get past this gate over here. I'm going to show you really quick where the gate is. And the very distinct problem that this gate sort of has is that there are so many more points in the final section of this level than this second section that we really just do not want to be here. It is so slow to be here in terms of points and unlocking that gate, so we decided to find 3 different ways of how to skip it. So the first and the earliest one of those was the rainbow tank lock-on. And what that involves is going over here, moving upwards to this section here, and the idea is that you are going through a gap in the invisible wall to lock onto that rainbow tank just past the wall there. I am not very good at this, considering I do not do it in runs. We'll see if I can get it. It is quite tight. I'm really struggling a bit here. I need to be a little bit smaller. I'll come back when I'm a bit smaller.
Often the game, in trying to prevent you from getting to places, doesn't account for when Blob is wall jumping, and because when the wall jumping off of something at full jump height means that you have a higher jump than you normally would, and the game often fails to account for that, as it will be shown here.
There we go. Got it eventually.
As you can see, he got a higher jump height from wall jumping there, which is why that worked.
So we do from here is the rest of the level. Obviously, there's a mission here. We use the rainbow tank. But the method that I prefer for this skip is the early exit pull. And this is a tight skip that involves probably, I think, an error in the way that they programmed the tubes. As you can see here, this tube that goes into the exit pull area, that's the exit pull right there. It's a round, and they've cut out a square portion of the fence. And as you can see, as Blob is very small, we can actually go through that hole. And now we are at the end of the level, and for some reason, there is a wind cannon here that is active at all times, which we can go into and launch ourselves past the second gate. That method is much easier than the other one by, honestly, my opinion. I think it's just a lot more consistent. There are 2 ways of getting on the police station here. The first is the wall jump from that barrel just there. As you can see, I have to go around to this sort of face of the silo, otherwise I can get a good wall jump. Just respawn the barrel here. So if I try to wall jump from this front face here, I just don't get enough height. So make sure you're going to this section here, and then you can wall jump onto this police station here. The other method is going from this little set of bricks here going around and wall jumping onto the station at the right time. They are both the same thing. I find the barrel method to be better for me, but if you find this brick section to be better for you, then by all means, go ahead. And also it's worth noting you need to be less than 30 paint points to get in this hole. As you can see, I'm 34 paint points here and I just cannot fit. So make sure that you are below 30 paint points if you are trying to perform this skip. But yeah, other than that, that's about it for Hanging Gardens. I'm going to show the final sort of thing we do on 80% real quick as well, which is the jump along the pipe at the very end. So for this, we're going to be a bit bigger so you can get up to this ledge up here. This jump is definitely not easy. There we go. At the end of the level, there's a big pipe here that you see. Looks very tempting to jump on, right? Well, as you can see, if I jump on the very right side of it, I get pushed off. There is nothing I can do about that. I just get completely pushed off if I jump on the right side of that. So if you want to make sure that you are getting the fastest version of the ending, make sure that you are jumping on the left-hand side. And this trick will be done at the very end of Hanging Gardens once you've unlocked the exit pools. If you fail that, the backup is obviously just doing this early exit pool once again. And you can slam the exit pool and finish the level. But I will show you what it looks like to successfully pull off that last pipe jump. So what I like to do is I like to wall jump off this thing and stay on the left side, just here. And then it's that easy to get in. And that is Hanging Gardens. One of the toughest levels in the entire run, definitely not easy, but we will go into Ministry of Ink now. It's the second last level. One important skip here to learn, and that is pit skip. This is very important for skipping a huge section of auto-scroller near the end of the level. I'm going to try and show up Gate 1 skip here if I can as well. This is not used in 80%, but it's very fun. I'm going to do the transform for this actually.
I do not think I've ever done this skip.
So by hitting the transform engine there, the ink actually goes off the walls. And the walls, as you obviously probably know, is very important for doing wall jumps. And wall jumps are important for gate skips. So what we're going to do here is a very simple jumping onto the billboard. So billboards in this game are quite strange, honestly, in the fact that they have hitboxes that you can jump off of on the very top of them. It's very strange. So now I've jumped off that billboard, wall jumped off the wall again, and now I'm on the top of the fence of the gate, which was meant to keep us out of this section, but has completely failed once again. With that, we can get on here. This is a completely debugged section of the game, which was never meant to be in it. Although it does look like some parts of it were intended to be part of the game. But there is no floor here. In places. As you can see, it just completely goes off into the void. There is completely nothing here. I wonder if you can clip back and bounds here. You cannot. Today I learned.
Today I learned. I've never seen that done, so that this is actually news to me. I have learned more about this game today.
Yeah, that is the fastest method of skipping that first gate for free paint percent, which is essentially just getting the exit pool as fast as you can. That's all it is.
Yeah, no points involved.
Yep. There we go. And we are now in the mega reactor, but it is full of ink. This is a surprise for later, I think.
Yeah, this is not good.
I'm good, I think. Oh, never mind, I'm not good.
This is where that
appears I
half
am
jump height.
deceased.
Yeah, it's where that half jump height is very bad.
What just happened? Well, I locked onto the bot, and then the camera just did not follow me.
Oh, I wanted to mention something about that actually. The camera in this game is interesting. The camera there's a check that the game performs every time you try to lock onto something regarding whether or not the camera is on the object you're locking onto. So if you you cannot lock onto something even if you're standing right next to it if the camera has not captured it. So that's why that lock on did not go through.
So we're just getting to the end of the level here. We'll perform the final big skip of the run. Just kidding. There are 2 more, but I will not be showing those until we actually get to them in the run.
The suspense. It's building.
So this is the pit skip, essentially. There is a massive big pit right here. And it is just massive. There's a big pit, there's bots down there. And what's intended to happen, I don't know if I want to fall down here. I probably can't do a reverse pit skip, but what happens is, yeah, there you go. That triggers, and you fall down, and you have to kill a bunch of inkies to unlock the wind cannon, which is somewhere down there, to get back up. We don't want to do that. So because there are these huge walls here, we're going to use them. It is quite insane how the devs did not think of that when they were preparing this game. But you know,
one of life's greatest mysteries is how that got past testing.
It is definitely something, indeed, one of the easiest skips in the game, and something you should definitely be learning if you want to pick up this game. But this is the end of Ministry right here. Alright. Well, I think with that, we are pretty good to get into a full game run. So I think we will take a short break, Church, and we'll be back momentarily with a full game run. Is that alright if we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright,
we will
wonderful.
We will be back with a quick break. After a quick break, everybody. Just before we go to the break, I do just want to remind everybody, if you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, you can use exclamation links in Twitch chat to find out about all of the places GDQ is at. With all that said, we'll be back with a break in just a few minutes here. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is How to Train a Speedrunner. We just got our basic rundown of strats, whatnot in the Blob, and now we're going to have an actual run done, so I will just hand it over right away and we can get into it.
Alright, the Blob, any percent. Putting every single one of the levels, 10 levels, as fast as we can. Lucid, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Alright, time begins on the selection of Blob's mood. I'll go countdown from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So starting off here, we'll see if I can get this. I am terrible. That is the hardest trick in the game. To skip that prof sort of
That's what's called a lock-on text skip, and it saves, I think, like 3.5 seconds at the very beginning of the run, and it's the only lock-on text skip. There are other known lock-on text skips in Hanging Gardens and the final level, Lake Radia, but the Hanging Gardens one and the Last Resort one are the only ones that are consistent. Out of all of the tricks that are used in the run currently, that's probably the most recent, as it was discovered last year.
Yeah, I grabbed that transform engine there just to be safe in this marathon run, obviously. Not fast to do that normally. But since I got that one, I'll be able to skip the next one.
As discussed earlier, transform engines are historically really slow. However, if you are trying to play the game as safely as possible, or if you're learning how to play the game for the first time, it is highly recommended that you start off using as many of those as you can, and then slowly work them out of your run to make yourself faster.
Absolutely. That is definitely a very solid way to go about learning the game. Ooh, these wall combos are not great. Yeah. Oof. Wow, this is not good at all.
So yeah, Oaknum is doing his absolute best here.
Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, this is one of the areas with limited, very limited recovery. There's the gradients that you can get down here that get you more points, but other than that, there's very limited recovery if you do not have enough points for the transform. In a full length run, this would absolutely be a reset. But, you know, marathon rules, Oaknum has to push through. He's got this.
Yeah, if you want to talk about 100% as well, Lucid, do that.
Oh, of course. 100% is a category that people do sometimes run. I think Oaknum also has a world record in that category as well.
I'm the only person who's done 90% or 100%.
Yes, and absolutely talented. The world record for 100% is
7 hours, 40 minutes.
Wow, okay. Yeah, you nailed it. 7 hours and 40 minutes, while 90%, which is completing the game, which is slightly different from 100%, is 5 hours and 55 minutes and 41 seconds. The difference between 90 and 100 is that the time bonus requirement is not necessary, and that's very good because it requires you to do most of the levels twice in the 100% run. Alternatively, there's also any percent gold, which Oaknum has also. Sorry, my apologies. The only person. Oh, Oaknum still has world record in the Wii on the Wii platform though. Which is where you beat all of the levels as usual, but you have to get a gold medal. And the world record for that is 2 hours, 38 minutes, and 54 seconds.
Yeah, 80% gold is definitely a lot less rapid than proper 80%, but it's sort of just like very intense sort of movement, getting the most points you can for 2.5 hours straight. Where am I going? Yeah, just getting as many points as you can for that gold medal. It is substantially more points required for the gold medal as well.
Absolutely.
So you gotta do a lot more stuff in every section to get that point requirement.
And then the last category that's consistently run is or not consistently run. Sorry, the last category that exists is free paint %, which is also the most recent category to be added in 2018. That's just going into free paint mode, which is the mode where all of the switches are unlocked and there are no point requirements, and just getting to the end as fast as possible. And as you can imagine, those are very short runs. Oaknum has the world record once again with 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Sub 10-minute run, definitely pretty comfortable when you're playing an hour-long game.
Oh, absolutely.
80%. Go.
Fun fact, I have a 10-minute, 11-second free paint % run that was never submitted to the leaderboards because I forgot. So that's I would have second place, I promise. Hand on the Bible.
I promise, man, it wasn't cheated. It wasn't cheated.
It's somewhere in there. It's probably real. Yeah,
It's probably real. It's probably real.
Also, I'd like to briefly shout out. Waylon is the one who created this route, correct?
Yes, he did.
It was Waylon. Yeah, Waylon is legendary, and I wish he was still active. But he was one of the earliest routers and general the Blob dudes who just kind of mapped out this game and found a lot of the earliest skips for the game. And very talented individual. He created this route where you do 5 challenges at once, and shout out to him for that because it saves a significant amount of time in Uptown. I believe that Oaknam is going to end up getting the transform here to be absolutely safe.
Probably not.
Oh, okay. You're doing well on points.
I'm in the gate skip anyway.
Also, to be entirely transparent, I'm watching your stream replay because you didn't stream it in Discord, so I'm very behind on what's happening.
Hang on, I'll do that. 1 second.
Oh no, I don't. Oh, okay, well. I was doing a good job. I was syncing up pretty well. Oh, he's coming up on the. I just got to the bridge skip, which is wonderful. Got the slightly suboptimal version. You can actually get through the side of that bridge if you do it perfectly, but the suboptimal version is not particularly slower. Something we've wanted to do for 4 years in this game is actually do a TAS of the game, but because of the limited amount of knowledge and technical information known about the Blob, it's very difficult, not to mention how slow the Wii version is, which would be the only TASable version available to us right now.
Wow. Pretty good wall combos, though.
What'd you say?
Some pretty good wall combos there to finish out Uptown, although you can't see. Apologies.
No, yeah, I'm sure they're great. I'm very confident in your abilities to do wall combos.
A little bit lower. Alright, stream. There you go.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated, sir. I am glad that I am finally up to speed on what's going on.
4 or 3 Uptown, not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, ideally you get sub 4, but that's if you're, very, very fast. That's top level gameplay. All right, here we go.
Downtown.
We start this off with the billboards at the beginning, with the arty mission. Hopefully not dropping that combo if everything goes well. If you do fall off and you're a new player, it is good to Z-target one of those monorails to get back on top. Typically by doing a wall jump or just having good reaction time when you fall off.
Perfect.
Yes, that was very, very good. If the there is actually a very there is a way to do a lock on tech skip to skip Biff there as well. I forgot to mention it earlier because it's completely impractical for any speedrun because it requires you to go all the way to the top of the building and jump down. I imagine it would be faster in a task situation, but we'll never know.
Oh, we could know eventually. Anyone interested in tasks in this game, please
Absolutely.
Speed the tasks, please, guys.
A task would be incredibly helpful. It'd be great to know what is and isn't possible without us having to test it, since there's so much frame perfect stuff to be found in this game. It'd be good to know if the one frame jump that or the one frame thing, as I called it earlier. It'd be good to know if that's a consistent thing or if it's just a quirk of the engine that happens sometimes. Because I know there are parts of the game where you can get it consistently and it doesn't appear to be frame perfect, but there are other times where it just kind of happens. So, you know, all of the technical knowledge we know about this game is all basically shots in the dark, educated guesses, but I'd say we know about as much as we could about the game currently.
Couple more repaints here.
Yep, that's 3 blocks of buildings that are covered right there. I believe he gets a 3-color, a 4-color, and another 3-color.
Oof. Setting up for a 5-color here.
Yes.
And then the big stuffing color coming up as well.
This was one of the levels that was primarily targeted when Oaknum started rerouting the entire game, trying to get out all of the to optimize for RTA, which of course included getting all of the transform engines out of the run. This was one of the levels that was heavily modified from its original point, very much for the better. We went from kind of relying on transform engines to basically abusing the repaint system, as well as getting as many multicolors as we possibly could. So as you can see there, he got a 4-color with the green, yellow, brown, and purple. And there's the 7-color. And he's going to go for another 3-color here, which is blue, yellow, and green, and then painting all of the billboards. This is the start of yet another 3-color on this set of, or no, a 2-color, sorry, on this set of buildings.
146, damn.
Yeah, this is very good points-wise. I don't know splits because I wasn't paying close enough attention, evidently, but this is very strong. There is an alternative reroute of this last section. I was actually going to mention this earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt Oaknum's wonderful tutorial. This last section of Chroma Dam is one of the most theorized and rerouted parts of the game, as far as I'm aware, due to there has been much speculation about trying to get it entirely out of the run, since there's a skip you can do at the very beginning of the level that allows you to skip it entirely. However, we haven't figured out a way to route around it and maintain the speed that we have currently. There's also been speculation to get the arty mission involving painting all of the blue buildings out of the run. Although it's all been speculation at best as to what's actually faster.
Fight wall jump that. Never really got down.
Oh, actually, while we're on the topic of gate skips, I did want to mention that we've found ways to skip every single gate in the game except for Uptown Gate 2. I should have mentioned this when we were at the Uptown Gate 2, but, you know, we were technical difficulties, because I didn't know exactly when that was. But yeah, so Uptown Gate 2 is the only gate that we have not skipped, and it will likely stay that way unless we can find some very weird out-of-bounds shenanigans, because that is it's one of the few invisible walls in the game that's actually incredibly strong and very difficult to circumvent. There's absolutely nothing like tall nearby, so it's very difficult for us to find anything that allows us to get over that. Oh, it's also worth noting, since we're here, this is the first landmark of the run. And that means that Oaknum has to use his wonderful fingers to mash as fast as humanly possible, because in the Wii version of this
That's
run,
so many points. What?
This is by the way why I believe that you can route Artie out of this mission, is because it is you can potentially get this many points up to here. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so every time you have a professor mission, which involves changing one of those landmarks, one of those gray buildings, to
sakes! Oh my god!
That's a great downton. To a colorful building, it requires you to mash very fast on the paint button. Oaknum uses 2 fingers, which is absolutely insane, and he saves 2 seconds on me every time he mashes because his mashing speed is just that good. On the Wii version of this game, you would have to shake the Wii remote in order to mash and free the liberate the landmarks. This was much, less. It required much less strain physically, so that's all well and good. But unfortunately, there are still, like this transform right here, there are still parts of the game where mashing is required. Although it is very few and far between. We've eliminated a lot of the landmarks that used to be in the run, as far as I'm aware. Here we're going to go for what I believe, depends on how he does it. Okay, a 4-color. And then setting up for, I believe, another 4-color if he leaves these buildings to be white, which he does. Nice. So, yeah, that's another 4-color that'll be, or no, that's a 3-color, sorry, that'll be a tech player. Oh, yes, the worst enemies in the game, the heavy inkies, as mentioned earlier, those are the only inkies in the game that have disjoints. Unless you consider projectiles disjoints, which I don't. The heavy inky spurts out gas, and the gas has an awful hitbox.
That was insane wall combo. Oh my god.
That was amazing wall combo. Hung on to that one for a very long time. But yeah, so those heavy inkies can get you if you take too long to target and eliminate them.
Nice. That was pretty good.
Yeah, Oaknum is very much getting into the groove.
I missed this game. I missed it a lot.
It's hard to not like play because the soundtrack is just so good and the movement is so fluid. It's hard to not. Yeah, oh, it is a 4-color. It's hard to not like it's like a breath of fresh air every time you play it again. Unless you're grinding out like monorail skip, and then it's just the worst. You hate it.
Oh, this was the wrong route. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, it works.
6 there is fine.
Normally that would be a 7-color on that building, but Oaknum slightly messed up the route. But it is okay. Either he's gonna jump on the jumpable tree and start working on the basically final section of this level. This is I will point out, this is where the repaints happen, which is going to be something to behold. So now we're being introduced to the tank enemy, which requires 100 paint points. And we can't really paint without it, with it being there, because it shoots globs of ink that undo our work. So here he's going to grab some paint. Does ignore the transform engine here, and moves on. Clearly rejecting the safe strats because he's getting very confident in himself.
I have plenty of points. Usually the transform would have been there at that point.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep.
I must do something different. Because I bet on it being there every time to get all of the points needed to break the tank, and then wait a little bit so I can use the transform to wait a little bit to get the paint bots back. These 2 missions require you to paint the bottom section purple, and then the top section orange, and then the bottom section purple. And we do those to get a lot of points, as well as ensure that all of the buildings are painted, so we can go through with repaints in a moment.
Please. Hello? Okay.
So, yeah. Now the repaints begin. He's going to start grabbing the colors in order to start painting the buildings various colors. And as you can see, every time he paints one section of buildings, he gets 2,300. Every time he paints the other section of buildings, he gets 4,500, adding up to a whopping total of 6,800 points per color. 6,800 times 7 is an amount. I'm not good enough at math to attempt that in my head. Live commentary is hard to, when you combine it with mental math. That's a lot of points. It adds up to a lot of points.
Nice. Didn't think I would get that. That's a really hard strat. Climbing the dam here now, finishing the level. This is not skippable as far as we are aware. Ow.
Yeah, that is not the I hate the I forget what did you call them? I forget.
Angry men.
Oh, okay.
No, I did not call them that.
You called them like pump when you said it was like pump skip, right? Earlier when you were talking about the you jump on them to get past that one part. I hate those is what I was trying to get across. Those things are the worst.
24, man. That would have been so good if it didn't fall off. Like the OX.
That's still good. On to Guggenstraz, Okino's favorite level, probably. This is gonna be fun.
Did I hit the blue one?
No, I think it got red. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why that was weird.
That's fast still. I don't mind.
So here he's going to get a 2-color on this building, as well as a 2-color on the building he was just on, or the block he was just on. And then he's going to liberate 2 sets of gradients to get a lot more points than he normally would have. That's all very good. Very quick way to get the 30, I believe, about 3,500 point, or no, 30. It's 80,000 to get out of here, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, this would give you about 35,000-ish once you're done with it all.
You want to explain why those 2 buildings were red and orange back there?
Oh, sure. So sometimes the game has to account for various buildings that are unreachable by the player, but it still wants to have the buildings there. So if you paint buildings adjacent to it, adjacent to the buildings that the game deems as unpaintable, it'll paint them for you, and it'll just pick a random color. However, that does not get counted as color as part of the 7-color, 4-color, multicolor block system. Those just aren't counted at all. This is a time loss, but it also ensures that he will have enough points to move on to the next section. Saving the gradients just to be safe. Definitely will have enough to move on. Now we're going to attempt rock skip. Never mind, we are not attempting rock skip. We are attempting the other one.
They're both equally garbage.
Yeah, the
Alright, rock skip
other.
for the fans.
Yeah, we're going to try rock skip instead. Which the other skip must have been bad if rock skip is what we're resorting to.
There we go.
That should be good. Yep. And he has to get the yellow here and then go back to the corner to make sure that he gets the full 7-color later. Or, sorry, I think it's 5-color later when he gets this rainbow tank and starts painting the buildings. Because if he got the rainbow tank and didn't paint that corner, there's no way he'd be able to get to it without jumping on top of the buildings, which is time loss.
Oh!
I believe he got... Did you get the frame one?
Yep.
Yeah, that's nutty. See, that's where I wonder if it's consistent or not, because stuff like that happens. I'm like, nah, that was absolutely frame perfect, whatever it was. Our working theory for why that happens is that the game's buffer, or the game's check system, The game was originally in 30 FPS when it was on Wii, and I believe that because it was bumped up to 60 for other consoles, the game only checks every 2 frames when you're touching the ground, and as such, it allows for stuff like that to happen.
I feel like it could be you have a few frames before you hit the ground to buffer the jump as well. That could be a solid explanation.
Like a jump squat, right? I don't know if you know fighting game terms.
I did not play fighting games, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Yeah, I what I'm saying is I agree. There we go. A jump squat is the amount of frames it takes for a character to jump in like a fighting game.
Mm.
That also extends to them landing in certain cases.
What?
You missed a... yeah, okay. Sometimes painting, like, large amounts of buildings in this game, it can be the epitome of, like, oh, missed a spot. Because you can miss that. There's a building in that area that's very, very... Oh.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's... See, even gods fall, you know? Like, monorail skip takes no prisoners. It absolutely will just eliminate...
What? Too far? I'm just that good.
I'm laughing because it hurts. I feel Oakdam's I feel all the pain he's going through at the moment.
It's not working. No. This is painful! This is why you should definitely run this game.
Yeah. You should run specifically this. If I could give anyone a level to practice first, it would probably be this one. There we go. This would be the level I would recommend. It's either this or Last Resort for people to practice, be like the first level that they practice to understand the basics of running the Blob.
Oof. Minute and a half of IL record.
A minute off IL record. That's absolutely insane. Oakdam is cracked. Oh, here we get... So here we're going to do, I believe it's 3 7 colors on 3 different boats, which is, you know, riveting. I associate this level with my favorite podcast because I spent so many hours running this particular level because the route is obnoxious and frustrating. Run our game.
I did not practice this level. This is all muscle memory.
You have it right so far. It's brown, you get the blue. Yeah, and then you get red to get the purple, and then you go get the blue again on the other side.
I do remember now.
Yeah.
Why is that emote in this channel? This is extremely disappointing.
I'm glad your friends. I'm glad your friends are here. That's good to know. What's the? I shouldn't distract you from. I was gonna ask what's the story behind. It's such an odd looking emote.
Oh no, that's really bad.
Yeah. Well, there's red and okay. Well, now you got it. That's faster. It's only about I would say a 20-second time loss. So here we have my personal favorite mission in the game, which is a weird choice, but I really like this one. So the paint bots are set up in such a way to where if you break them in order, you can get a rainbow assortment of colors. And this mission entails you painting the sections of boxes in a rainbow orientation. Normally, this, however, would not include brown, but because of the way we are doing, because of the order in which we do this, we make sure to include brown in order to get to the maximum amount of points from a 7 color as opposed to a 6 color. Then we paint the brown box yellow to complete the challenge. Now we're going on to the best part. So we accept this race. Oaknum's going to do the first 3 little pips. Okay, and he's going to do the entire... Yeah, he threw me off. He's going to not do what he was about to do, and he's going to paint the entire bottom of this boat orange, because later on, there's going to be a mission that requires this entire boat to be orange. But we also don't want to paint the whole thing orange, because if we do that, if we paint the whole boat orange, then we don't get the 5 color that we can potentially get on the boat. This also is why he's painting this boat red right now, is because he needs to in order to do this upcoming challenge.
Well, we didn't paint the boat red this one. We just need to have it painted for the 7 color.
Yep.
And
And
we're gonna
now,
do a big repaint right now. Yeah, orange. Yep, orange.
Yep. Yeah, it's orange, and then yellow, and then green, brown, blue, and then purple. I know this one. If I didn't, I would be a fraud.
I did
You go
not.
across the boat.
Yep. The one level I did not practice.
Green. Paint the
Red
wall.
back here.
And then, yep, red.
And then the blue again. I do remember. I have the world record.
I remember. It is worth noting. I'm not sure. I don't have reference for this. This game requires a gross amount of memorization if you're wanting to do it at the top level, in regards to the order that you have to paint things in. Because if you're like me, then you have to write all of that down in order to remember. Here he's doing he was trying to do, he did a backup because he was running low on points. Because normally he would get the turret earlier when he was first on this boat, but he didn't practice the levels, so we're getting there. And now he's going to paint the rest of the boat orange after he's gotten his 5 color from the route earlier. Ideally,
I wasn't finished. That's annoying.
That is very frustrating. Now Oaknum is going to be low on points, leading into the gate, which is very bad because that is a gate you can absolutely not reach low on points.
Should be fine still.
You'll have to do it like one-ish backup.
I just wanted to be bigger for the skip.
And now we have...
Oh,
nice save. You have to be on the outer edge of that Z jump. If you're on the side of the Z jump in any way, it will not work. Nice job, first try.
Saved it really nicely as well. It was really good.
It's worth noting that you can skip this gate, but that is because of because we need this rainbow tanker, we do not skip the gate.
Very good, so don't worry.
Oaknum has a top tier recovery ability. His top tier recovery ability is so good that he has helped me recover from my mess ups live on stream. He's very, very good at immediately finding a backup when things go wrong.
Nice. Still got purple there. And we wait for brown. Let's go. That's good. Just waiting for more colors there on the multicolor block. We're gonna do another one here with the rainbow tank while we still can.
Rainbow Tanker is a absolutely broken mechanic when it comes to speedrunning, and invaluable.
I'm still 10k over? Oh my god.
You
did not know that existed?
No, I knew you could do it. I just have never seen you just do it, and you just do it in a run, and you did it so casually that it like freaked me out. I have never seen you do. You don't do that in the IL record.
I just did it.
You're just, that was like insanely cool.
That was pretty cool. I will.
It's one of the most nutty things I've ever seen, because I did not expect that. There is a potential for a lock-on text skip there in order to skip the prof dialogue and the following cutscene, but it is a bit difficult, as are all lock-on text skips, or lots, as
Nice.
I call them,
Didn't get inked there.
which is good. Oh, I should have mentioned this earlier.
106-ish.
I should have mentioned this earlier. The colored inkies can only be hurt by the blob that is the same color as whatever they're wearing. Those are first introduced in Docklands, and we beat a few of them at the beginning, but I believe that's the only time that we defeat those throughout the entire run.
Oh, wait, there's some here we get as well on the Biff mission.
Ah, yes, you're correct.
Yeah, usually
Right.
we don't want to get those green guys because they're not part of the mission. They're just there to annoy you. And they take 4 pain points each, which is just like, we need those pain points for the pump. So we just ignore them.
Here we're going to get several 6, 7, and 5 colors. If Oaknam does this all correctly, he will have an abundance of points that he definitely should not, or when they were designing this level, they definitely did not want you to have as many points as he's about to have going into this section. But because of the mechanics of the game, he is going to have a stupid amount of pain points.
Nice. Not too bad. 25, nice.
Sometimes the buildings required for a specific block can be a bit odd. For instance, on this block, I often forget that the crates are required on the outer edges, because for some reason the crates are buildings. I'm not sure why, but
there we go.
yes. And here we have the Biff mission that was previously mentioned, where we're going to destroy those.
What?
Oh, okay, you got lucky. That's fine.
That was so unlucky. You just go straight
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. That's an example of where the lock-on jump sort of goes bad, because that's the same reason why stuff like that happens, and it can be really frustrating in speedrunning when the game says, yeah, you can lock on here and it'll be safe, and then you are very much not safe.
Alright, on track for points at least. This is a scary section here, because if you get inked, you lose a lot of time. Inked or watered, either of the two, is very slow.
I'd like to note that in incredibly high level world record attempts, we don't do this section anymore. If you look at the IL record, we do not. It does not include this section anymore, which is good because it takes out a huge amount of time. However, if you're playing the game, if you're playing it safe, it is very good to do this section because it gives you a lot of points.
Yeah, some of those missions sort of have to tank the cutscene here, like the challenge complete one, because those heavy Yankees don't actually spawn until we talk to Biff. So that challenge can be skipped and probably should be skipped, but this level is quite tight on points, so I decided to play it safe and get them anyway.
Yes, there's not one, but there are two Rainbow Tanker sections, and those are the only sections that have an in-game timer that needs to be very strictly adhered to if you want to get the maximum amount of points out of your Rainbow Tanker.
Ah!
Yes, so if you paint all the silos in this area, that counts as a block of buildings, and as such, you get a bonus. So, you want to make sure you get all of those painted.
There we go. Alright, let's try gate 1 skip now. I'll give it 1 attempt, or 2 attempts. Doesn't save too much time. Let's go!
That is not easy to nail. I usually just try once and then move on, because at that point it's pretty useless.
Doing an early exit pull here. Breaking early, that was nearly too early. Jesus.
Did you know that you do not do the early exit pool on your IL record? So I didn't even know that you did that.
Yeah, I recently included it.
Ah, nice. So now I'll start doing it, because that is way easier, and I hate the original one.
It's easier, but it gives a lot of points. I'm not sure. Usually we should be fine. Just need good wall combos here.
This is a obnoxious area to wall combo because of the abundance of streetlights, as well as random things on the walls. There's like pipes and gears, and it's an obnoxious area to combo for that reason. Not to mention these like partitions that are in the middle that are meant to stop your wall combos. You can navigate around them, but it is not easy. However, Oakenham is doing a fine job.
Nice.
You will have barely enough points to get through.
I need more pain points to get up here.
Yeah. This isn't speedrunning related, but I thought I'd mention. This is nice.
Wow.
That was excellent. That was really good hanging gardens, actually. Good job.
519, not bad.
Yeah, that was excellent.
I need 20 off record.
But if you haven't played this game before, you will notice. Here's my favorite level. You'll notice that there's every time Blob paints something, there's a riff in the background that is in time to whatever song is being or whatever mood Blob picked, which is whatever song is utilized. Which is one of the soundtrack is one of the parts of this game that is often referenced as a reason to play it. It's also something you'll hear in a lot of YouTube videos from a lot of people. The soundtrack is very widely known, even if people don't know where it comes from.
No, that's not good.
Yes, there's another. I messed that up twice over. There's another place where you have to defeat Inkies. Inky Elites, which are the ones with the colored jackets. And as such, you have to be a very specific color in order to do that. There is a optimal way to do that, but Oakenham has not done that, so he's kind of just winging it.
I'll wait for this guy again.
I believe there's a 10-second cooldown on all of the paint pots, which is very, very obnoxious.
I need yellow. I'm going to murder this tank right now. I have so many pain points. Die.
This is a very strange collection of buildings that are painted in a very odd orientation. I'm not sure why. I often remember them as the McDonald's buildings because of the color scheme, but one of the few parts of the game where the buildings that are being painted are not being painted in like a pattern It's just random assortments of red and yellow, so it's a bit difficult to remember. Oaknum, of course, is orange in order to get the repaint bonus on all of these buildings. Here we have a very interesting route. As you might have noticed, there was a rainbow tanker at the beginning of the level, but it was ignored. That is not because we don't use it, it's because we are going to backtrack to it in a second in order to do one of the most visually satisfying, if not the most visually satisfying missions in the entire game, which involves painting this collection of residential buildings in a rainbow pattern. Of course, that is most easily accomplished with the rainbow tanker, which paints everything automatically. But first, we have yet another prof mission. Nice optimization. We paint that last building brown because it's the last building we will paint, thus making the assumed 6 color a 7 color.
We do it again on the other block here as well.
Like we want to try and squeeze as many points as we possibly can. Ideally, we do not get inked here, but it doesn't matter because there's a fountain right there. And next we accept this arty mission. Then we go and slam this rainbow tanker. We do not need the transform because we have too many points and we're about to get a whole lot more.
Put that block as a backup.
Fun fact, if you Z-jump too quickly here, you will not paint one of those monorails.
Yeah.
It's very obnoxious when it happens, and it is a huge time loss.
I love it the hard way as well.
Here he's going to Z-jump back, and he is going to grab the arty mission, and here's the most visually satisfying mission in the entire game.
Nice.
I always love doing that mission for how pretty it looks.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That is the easiest mission in the entire game, and I will not let it go. It is, I don't know why they even bothered, but, 3 points, I guess.
Just jump over the fence.
It's like, jump over the fence, and we'll give you 2,000 points. It's like, oh, I'll do it. Sure, why not?
That is the first and only jail cell of the run.
Yeah, which is 100, pressing the X and or A and or whatever button it is 100 times. That often takes me about 15 seconds, and Oaknum did it in 10, which is just insane. Also, this is also a part that has been rooted out of world record level runs in modern Blob. Although it's very good if you are low in points to do this section, as well as the jail cell. We don't do the jail cell anymore either.
Nope.
But, which is good, because I don't want to do it, frankly. Yeah. Pressing the same button 100 times is not fun. I do not like it. I don't know what they could have done. Maybe if you pressed the button in like a circular motion when they ported that mechanic over to other consoles other than the Wii. I don't know what they could have done, but I really wish they picked something other than pressing the button over and over again. That just kind of lazy and unfortunate. But alas, that is how the game is. Here we have another arty mission that we are going to completely ignore and go get this other rainbow tanker. so that we can just paint the buildings whatever color we want, and eventually we'll get like a 5 color off of this, if I remember right. A 5 or a 4. Yep, 4 color.
I'm gonna do this.
And then the backup is to free these gradients and then talk to Artie here to get to the points. And 620 points off of the exit pool. And that should be it once the multiplier is counted. And we are out of the Chroma City Fun Park.
Indeed.
Getting into my second favorite level of the run, personally.
This level stinks. I hate it.
I like it. It's great. So story time. This is the first level I ever. When I started speedrunning this game, this was the first level I ever investigated. And what I mean by that is I didn't learn the route for it. I just kind of messed around in it for a while until I found something that I felt was noteworthy enough to post to the Blob Discord. And then I found out that Waylon had found the same thing about a year or 2 years earlier. So that's cool. This is also a rather complicated set of multicolors that has to be done here. Narrowly
Nice.
avoiding that blue staircase.
Kept the blue though. Nice
Yep.
done.
Very good.
Oof. These will come in so hard.
Yep. This is another area where there's a lot of stuff on the walls. Of course, there's that the walls are coated with ink in this section, which is not fun. But there's also just random assortments of things on the walls that can stuff your combo if you aren't careful. Here he's going to grab that, make some purple. Trying to get as many colors on this section of blocks as possible.
Really? Wow.
Here he's going to get orange, paint that orange, and then finish the block, get the repaint, go back over here, get brown, and then get a 3 color on that section, which means that he got a 4 and a 3 color on each of those, and then gets several repaints, paints this red to finish the 6 color, I believe, on that building.
Basically, a lot of points, very fast.
Yes,
like
a
what-
lot of
that's what we
points
need to know.
very fast. That's the important. That is the important part. And then he's going to go over here and finish this by painting it all yellow.
$114. Wow,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
me.
This is it's worth noting. I'm gonna scratch myself on the back. This is the only aisle or this is the only individual level of the game that has been rerouted since the world record in a way that was not used in the world record. This part coming up has been completely rooted out of the level because man, it is long and it requires a whole lot of pressing the button. Not a fun section, and as I imagine that's the reason why Oaknam hates this level is because of this section coming up.
I have
Before
a
we
lot
get
of
there.
points. Oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we do this, we're gonna get a 3 color on these silos to start this section right here. In a casual run of this game, this is actually a very fun section. In a speed run of this game, this section is an absolute nightmare because of the amount of just painting that you have to do in like a set order, and it's very very formulaic, for lack of a better word. As well as you have to do all 3 of these these water tankers in order to lower the ink level and bypass, which means you have to press the button a whole 150 times total.
Yeah, I was not aware that he routed out the reactor.
Oh? Yeah, I have the IL world record in this level because I routed out the reactor section.
I was not aware.
Oh, I deeply apologize for
I didn't know you get in the rock board though. I have not looked at your route yet. I'm very surprised. You managed to route this out. Just gives you so many points.
It was a challenge to say the least, but I was motivated by my complete distaste for this section of the game in a speedrun sense. Although it is really, really cool to watch. I like the part where you paint all of the stuff in the rainbow portion. I remember my stream viewers being disappointed when I told them I didn't do this in routes anymore.
So explain the green glitch though.
Explain the what?
The green glitch.
The green... Oh, where you paint that one silo the wrong... Like, in the just doesn't...
Yep.
Is that... Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't even realize... This today is the first time I've noticed that happens, so I have no idea. I am
true
completely...
top-level speedrunner.
Yeah, no, I just watched you do that, and I was like, oh, that was weird, and then I was gonna keep going. Believe me, the fact that that's painted that color is like the last thing I'm thinking about when I get to this part of the level.
Clean.
Very clean.
A lot of points too.
Yeah, he is missing 30,000, or no, sorry, not even 20,000 points. Or no, sorry, it's missing 20,000 points to get the transform, so he's very close. That's the important part. I forget, it's like 25, it's 250,000, right?
No clue.
Oh, well, you know, something like that.
230,
yeah,
I think. 2100, let's go, I got it.
Nice job.
The random 2100 that appears for no reason. It's literally RNG whether you get 2100 or not. That's
cool.
It's literally just chance. We have no idea why that happens.
I like to imagine there's probably something like geometry or something below the ground or something that makes that happen. This is one of the few times where we hit enemies intentionally because it gives a whole lot of points at the very end. Oh, it is 220. I was right. Okay, never mind. I shouldn't have second guessed myself. Nope, there's pit skip, easy skip.
Ugh.
If you fall down there early, by the way, if you fall down in the pit and you haven't activated the event that happens down there, you just you have soft locked your game. There's no way to get out.
557. Sheesh.
Yeah. Sub 6. That's really good. That's really solid ministry. And now we're on to the final level.
Explain what's happening here, Lucid.
Oh boy. Okay, so this is there's a horrible, god-awful skip that happens later in this level. Toward the at the very end of this level, there is a horrid, awful, disgusting skip that is actually technically there's actually two skips that happen at the very end of this level, but I will go over them briefly when we get there. Beforehand, we have a little bit of the precursor to the actual level that's happening here. He's going to Z-drop right here so he can get on top of this building and go way further. That actually skips a section that he would normally have to do, which is wonderful because that section takes a while. And he's going to go over this ink. It's important, or it's preferable, I shouldn't say it's important, but it's preferable that he keeps his color here. I say as he loses it.
You don't need it at all. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, oh, well, yeah, no, you're right. I'm stupid. Yeah, you know, you're correct. It's not really necessary. And now this spaceship that we're on is going to rise out of the ground, which is cool. But what's more important is that we have to trigger a cutscene, which we have to trigger the final boss cutscene from outside the final boss arena, which means that we have to get to a certain altitude right here and listen to the door click. And once the door clicks open, that means that we have reached the final boss arena. This is the first skip of this section, and it's a very recent development. It's relatively difficult to do. It's not as difficult as there's an invisible wall that is the reason why this trick happens, because it pushes us, instead of stopping us, it pushes us backward, which actually gives us vertical momentum and allows us to get up there. Oakdam's having a bit of trouble because it is a very precise angle, and he's getting caught on the ceiling. You have to kind of go a little bit lower than the ceiling in order so you don't get caught on it. Very specific angle. And I believe he got it.
No.
You have to sort of go parallel. A lot of runs die here. It was shortly after this skip was discovered that we reached sub-hour in our speed, or rather Oakdam got sub-hour, because this saves a huge amount of time, because it prevents us from having to it prevents us from having to go there we go. Yeah, there we go.
I'm waiting it.
But now we have the second part, which, believe it or not, is even harder than the first part. Due to the jank nature of invisible walls in this game, the invisible wall pushes us in a direction, but there's a collection of invisible walls here. So if you go just right, you can bypass the first set of invisible walls and go towards the second, resulting in it pushing you onto the platform, and therefore skipping the entire level, which is very useful in this particular. There he goes, and that's it. First try. That is great job. That is absolutely insane.
I was a little worried about that. Not gonna lie.
That is often the part that gives me pause. And now we have the final boss, which is and actually decently can be very, very technical, depending on how good your movement is, because you can wall jump off of the sides of these silos. Also, you have to make use out of going on the inner circle, but that's also more dangerous because you are more in danger of getting hit. After you paint all of the silos a specific color, you can hit this the final boss and deal damage. Got to do that four different times, but each time a new color is added. So by the end of it, you will have 4 different colors, one of them being brown, that you have to go around and get. This can be a very long final boss if you get inked, and especially if you die, which can actually be very easy. Yeah, if you run around too fast, he gets confused and does that. Which, believe it or not, actually can hit you, and not only can it hit you, but it can hit you out of the arena if it's bad enough. If that motion where he swings his arms can actually hit you out of the arena, which is something that is very rare, but it has happened and is a magnificent thing. No worries, he's just going to go to a water fountain right there. Got purple, he has purple and green. On the next go round, he will have all 3 of these colors, as well as brown. And now he has green.
Oof. Not a bad boss fight.
Yeah, no, this is very strong. It's much better than most of my boss fights. I'm often done by this point mentally. This is very strong. Now, going to get orange first. Now he has brown, which is all 3 colors combined, of course.
Oh my.
Got 2 more colors, green and purple.
Nice. And time will be after this final hit when I slam the transform engine.
Yep.
What just happened?
Oh, so that's... I'll briefly mention that. That happens because for some reason there's a random frame buffering bug that takes place during this fight that causes you to just fall out of the boss
Time.
fight. Yeah, and that will be time.
That's
And
an
that
unfortunate...
is-
Sorry, go ahead.
That is the Blob. 80%, 1 hour, 6 minutes. Not a bad run.
Yeah, that's very strong.
That is a very unfortunate bug to have in the final boss, but yeah, that was a very good run.
Yes, agreed. If that would be, that is less than the current second place any percent time, which is very, very good and better than the estimated time for this run. So
That is very, very true.
good job, Oaknum.
All right, well, I think we are pretty much done here. Thank you very much to GDQ for having us. This was a blast. If you learned something about the game, make sure to join our Discord.
Absolutely.
We are very, very active in there, and we'll help you with any sort of questions you have. I'm seeing more people running the Blob very soon because it's been a very down low game for a long time, and recently a lot of people have been showing interest in picking it up. So if you're interested, definitely give us a shout. We will definitely give you a hand. Shout outs to Lucid for being on comms today. Thank you very much, Lucid.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing so well and being such an amazing runner.
No problems. Shout outs to Sock, Timber, and Waylon, the 3 sort of big runners back in the day. They've sort of pioneered where this game is now, and in terms of routes and everything. Obviously, Sock's in chat right now. Thanks for sticking around. And yeah, that is the Blob.
Thank you both so much for being on tonight. I don't think I mentioned it during broadcast. I think it was before, but I really like this game, so I was super excited to be able to have you two on and teach this. This is a great game, and I hope I hope if anybody is interested, they'll join and start learning. I did post the Discord link in chat, so if anybody's interested, you can join there. It'll also be on the speedrun.com page. Yeah, that was, a very excellent tutorial, very great run, so thank you both so much. I really appreciate you two doing this.
No worries. Thanks for having us. Hope to be back soon. Oh, also, if you're interested in watching The Blob, I'll be streaming The Blob for probably the next month or so, as I am doing this again at ESA on February 18th. So if you're interested in seeing me derust fully, push my time down, the rest times down to a 100, 101, hopefully somewhere around there. Check out my stream, twitch.tv/Ognem. And then obviously ESA Marathon in February, I'll be doing the Blob live once again in Sweden. But yeah.
I also, in the coming, I'm currently overseas right now, but once I get back home, I am going to be doing daily runs of the Blob as well on twitch.tv/TheLucidLetters. So I will also be joining Oaknum and making sure that we push this game and make it more well-known as a speed game.
Love to hear it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll hand it over to Church.
Yeah, thank you both so much. Be sure to follow these two. They're great runners, absolutely great commentary. So, thank you again. With that being said, that is the end of our show for tonight. We don't have anything else. Just as a reminder, we do have one more broadcast on Hotfix before AGDQ, and that's going to be Grudge Match tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then after that, it's GDQ weekend starting on this Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Be sure to tune in for that. We've got a great schedule. If you want to learn more about anything of the sort, go to gamesdoneclick.com for more information. With that said, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.